We're getting ready to vote on my CRA, Senate Joint Resolution 80. And by the way, I appreciated the strong bipartisan vote yesterday to get on this bill. This is a really important resolution for our country, for my state, for the Native people, and the workers of America. So I'm asking my Democrat colleagues to really think hard about this. I see the Schumer, Heinrich, vote no on the Sullivan CRA down there. But I want to make a plea to my Democrat colleagues. You should vote yes on this Senate resolution. You had one courageous one yesterday, Senator Fetterman, and here's why. A vote yes on this resolution is a vote to unleash American energy. As I talked about yesterday, the best way to undermine Vladimir Putin and his corrupt regime in Russia is to produce more American energy in the place with the highest standards in the world. That happens to be my state. That happens to be the National Petroleum Reserve of Alaska, which is all about what this CRA is about. Second, this is really important, Mr. President. My colleagues over there love to say, hey, we're the party of the working families, of working Americans. No, you're not. A vote yes on this resolution is a pro-union, pro-worker vote. The laborers, operating engineers, they all want a yes on this. They all produce oil up here. This is a chance. My colleagues for too long on the other side of the aisle kowtow to the far left environmental groups at the expense of working Americans. That's why you're no longer the party of working Americans. This is a chance. Well, maybe you won't kowtow to the far left. A yes vote on this Senate resolution will also vindicate the rule of law. What am I talking about, Mr. President? This is the National Petroleum Reserve of Alaska. The Congress of the United States, us, in a law, said that we are going to develop this part of my state for oil and gas production. And Joe Biden came in with a regulation saying, nope, we're going to shut that down, violating the rule of law. If my colleagues on the other side of the aisle really want to promote the rule of law, they should vote yes. And finally, Mr. President, as I mentioned yesterday, this is a vote for the interests of the Native people of my state. As I said yesterday, here was a letter I submitted for the record. The tribe in this area, the borough, which is all run by Alaska Natives, elected officials, the Alaska Native Corporation, all the leaders in this part of my state, which is what this resolution is all about, all of them, all the indigenous people, the leaders of this part of my state want this resolution. They didn't want the Biden lockup. They came down to Washington, D.C. 8 different times to just request a meeting with the Secretary of Interior, saying, don't lock up our lands. This will hurt our future. This will hurt our life expectancy. This will hurt our jobs. And the Secretary of Interior never even met with them. Neither did the President, 8 times. So this is a strong vote for the interests of the indigenous people of my state. I'll conclude with this, Mr. President. My Democratic friends often bristle when accused of selling out the interests of working Americans, the men and women who build stuff, the unions that build stuff, the building trades, the men and women who drill for oil and gas and mines and rare earths and critical minerals. Well, here's an opportunity for them to say, no, we're going to stand with the people who build this great nation. My friends on the other side of the aisle often talk about, hey, we're going to support indigenous people, people of color. Well, here's an opportunity to do it. But what I fear, Mr. President, what happens way too much in this body, these interests, working Americans, building trades, the unions, the Native people of my state, they always get sold out to what? The far left, coastal elites, the radical eco-colonialists. That's why Heinrich and Schumer are down there saying, vote no on the Sullivan resolution. But I know, some of my colleagues know that a yes vote is the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do for our energy, dominance. It's the right thing to do for our foreign policy. It's the right thing to do for working Americans who have fled the Democratic Party over issues like this. And it's the right thing to do for the indigenous people of my state. I hope I get a couple more Democrat senators who cross the aisle, don't listen to your leader, don't listen to Senator Heinrich, for God's sake, on this issue. Vote yes on this important resolution for America and for working families and the Native people of Alaska. I yield the floor.